So hey, this is Sophie here, and I have a dear friend with me. This is rather unusual for me to do an interview like this, but it's not often that I meet up with someone as amazing as Shaft. So this is Shaft from sacredsexualawakening.com. We met one year ago in Copenhagen. And the reason we met, my memory's fuzzy, so I'll be checking in with Shaft, but do you want to say how and why we met?
I remember the day. Last year I was trying to embody, I embodied becoming a male tantric practitioner. But I was at the very beginning of my journey, and I was looking for, I'm used to getting ahead in life a lot quicker than most people because I basically fast track by talking to people ahead of me. You're way ahead of me. So I basically wanted to speak to my elders and people who have taken the path and have laid it down and allowed people like myself to walk across it a lot quicker. So I needed advice, I needed some wisdom, and you were there, and you gave me a hell of a lot of amazing wisdom.
I'd also set up a group for people doing sexual healing work in Copenhagen, because at the time I was still doing that. I'm not anymore. But yes, and then we met up and
Karma Cafe, had a little smoothie, had a little chat, and then that set me up. It was just inspiring to be with someone who's doing exactly the same work and just had a very similar background to me.
What is your mission?
My mission is to activate the goddess within everyone, to be in our full Shakti and also in our Shiva as well, and just to be an educator and a facilitator on discovering the wonders of the universe. It's basically going back to where we all came from.
Yes.
And that has helped me connect deeper to myself, and I've cured all my illnesses, all my diseases, all my sufferings, because I learned how to worship the goddess.
I was curious about what you have been doing for the last year, because I know you on Facebook and I see some updates, and I know it was pretty flamboyant, but do you want to run through the highlights?
So many things happen. When you live this awakened life, 1 year means like 3 years in human life.
Totally, yes.
So after embodying a practitioner on Copenhagen, which is for me my perfect island, I get to give yoni massages like 2 sessions a day. Hugely transformative work, highly recommend anyone to try it. And then just doing ecstatic dance at night and singing kirtan in the evening, which is spiritual karaoke, which gets you really high naturally. I love it. I went to Ubud to just see what it was like over there, and it was amazing. People just wanted to know more about the work I was doing as a sacred sexual awakener, so people interviewed me and people wanted to take photos of me, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, okay.
Celebrity.
And then people just done really nice photos of me. And my background is advertising. I was in advertising for 15 years, so creative, can't read or write. Only worked for the biggest brands on the planet. And I basically had all this marketing collateral. I thought, okay, I've got high-end photographs and I do this thing, maybe I should create a website and maybe quit my advertising career, which I basically worked from the hours of 9 in the morning till 2 at night for 15 years.
Wow.
So that wasn't healthy.
No.
I did enjoy it, but I just can't do it anymore. I get sick. So, I mean, the main reason why I left was because I was in shaman school before coming to Copenhagen in Hawaii, and during a ritual I saw the visions, which was heal the rich to empower the poor.
Okay.
Work from the top down.
Yes.
And I thought, this is an interesting concept. And that's the journey that I ended up going on. So I basically created this website, sacredsexualawakening.com, check it out. And then I went and studied with Barbara Corella of Urban Tantra fame.
I recommended her.
You did? Yes. What I do, I go straight to the source. So I ended up spending a year just going to all the top tantric practitioners on the planet, all the top healers like Matt Chia, and just embodying their practice and going, instead of just doing this and just studying and stuff, I was actually learning and actually putting it into my body. I was embodying it and giving a lot of sessions just because I'm so passionate about seeing human transformation happening in front of me. And it's changed me. And then I became humble.
Wow.
So just knowing that I'm not the one that's doing this work, I'm literally channeling all this light, and I'm not a healer.
Yes.
We are here to heal ourselves. We are literally holding space for people to travel back into themselves. And
yeah, I don't like that term when people say I am a healer. I like to say that I worked in healing.
And then I went to Burning Man, sober for the first time. Very challenging, very difficult. I lost myself in giving workshops. Overgiving, not filling up my own cup. And then I ended up in London. I was only meant to be there for 15 days. And then I ended up giving really successful workshops. Because I left London because everyone's, in my opinion, everyone's lives are different. Everyone's too contracted. I couldn't find anyone like these mythical hot blondes who have other lovers and like live this dream that I have. Well, not dream, my actual reality outside of London.
That's why I never live.
Yeah, the dream that I live outside of London, but I never have it in London. That's why I always leave.
I see.
But what happened was I ended up falling in love with London.
Wow.
I ended up finding my beloved.
Wow.
I ended up having a very lucrative tantra business.
Yes.
Where many people came to my workshops.
And you began working with men in that time, did you?
Yeah, I ended up giving a talk at the Infinite Man Summit. And I got these very contracted men who have never looked another man in the eye to talk to each other,
That's
to
quite
hug
normal
each other.
British
Very
way
British,
of being,
exactly.
isn't it?
But I also got them to talk about their lingam, their cocks, their penises.
Yeah.
Like, what if your penis could talk to you right now? What would he say?
Penis talk.
And then they were like 3 minutes each talking to each other about their penises, and that really opened up a lot of men.
I bet.
And like I look nothing like the rest of them.
Yeah.
They can't even relate to this.
No.
But the right people came to me.
Yeah.
And they had the transformation that they needed, and now they're on. Like the only time I ever cried during a session is when I'm working with men.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was ever gonna happen. Like I'm just, it just blows me away.
It's so profound, isn't it? I remember from my work to be in service and to know that you are bringing something of value to those people in areas in which that they have been shut down or had shame or had blocks around and not been able to enjoy themselves fully and be open. It's so there's nothing like it.
And it makes you humble.
Yes.
Yeah, and just it's because I never knew when I was trapped in a matrix about all this ways of touch, like conscious touch and like actually leading with the heart. Like I just didn't know any of that stuff. No one teaches us.
Where would we
school.
have found it? It's so. What's the word? It's so hidden.
It's only when you start becoming more awake and start doing the healing, going into meditation, start doing these certain practices that lead you down the rabbit hole, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you could levitate.
Yes, and then suddenly
astral projection
there's so
and
much.
everything. Exactly, so much.
So you can go in every direction. You can go so deep. There's so many choices available of how to touch, kinds of touch, people, and scenes to interact with,
and energy work and directing orgasms through humans into another human's heart, and they have a heart explosion.
Yes. Orgasms in different parts of your body.
Exactly, heartgasms, third eye gasms.
Or body orgasms,
exactly.
energetic orgasms.
As you can tell, we're multi-orgasmic.
Just a bit.
I love it.
Aww.
We're literally reversing ages because we're living this life. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed people who do Tantra or sacred sexuality have a certain glow.
Yeah.
There's different kinds of glows, but there's a certain glow that Tantra practitioners or people who are fully embodying their sexuality and having that energy move through them regularly, there's a certain kind of glow that you cannot get in other ways.
There is a reason why I went into this world. I kept on meeting very hot women who I thought were my age back then, in their 30s, but they were in their 50s.
Wow.
And I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And they literally would dance and move like me. And they said, we're temple dancers, we're sky dancers. I'm like, what
Sky
does that
dance,
even mean? I said, we do Tantra. I'm like, I don't even know what Tantra is. And they said, You'll find out.
Yeah,
You're one of
you'll
us. I'm
find
like,
out.
I want to know how you're staying this young.
Whatever it is, I want it.
I want it. So it's basic things. Moving that spine, allowing the energy to move through you. So I dance a lot and make love a lot.
Yes.
So that's keeping my energy alive, my vital energy alive, being in my body all the time.
Yes.
The loving yourself,
Yes.
like having a self-love practice, doing what you love. Like that is the key thing. Always doing something from a place of bliss, from the heart space.
Yeah, following your bliss.
Exactly. I mean, some practices say, do not follow your desire. Desire's bad. I'm like, no, this other school's a little bit more fun for me. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
I call it the rainbow path. And it's just a little bit more sexy and fun, and everyone's alive, and everyone's having a laugh. That's the main thing.
Because relationships is such a big part of Shaft's life and also mine. I don't remember how we got onto it, but I think you were saying how good you were at conscious relating.
So good. So good.
And when he said that, it kind of echoed in me, and I said, yeah, I'm really good at that too. And we
It's
had
my
a high
passion.
five. It was like, yes, it's so nice to meet someone else who values relationships deeply and sees them as a spiritual practice and puts them on a really high level.
I mean, meditating in a cave is a great accomplishment, but for me that's not my thing. I don't want to be a monk. I want to connect with human beings. Living and breathing with someone 24/7 that you love and growing with them is the biggest spiritual practice for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about connections. Like we're here to connect with every other human being.
Yeah.
The reason why I have so many lovers who are deeply committed and are open to the way I love is because I'm growing with them.
Yeah.
And lovers that evolve together, grow together, stay together.
Do you want to say something about the principles of engagement you have? Because you were telling me that you get, before you go any deeper into a relationship, you have something that you like them to read and commit to, and just tell me more about that.
So with all my lovers, I have a link that I send them. So in that there's a Teal Swan video about all the different types of polyamory.
Yeah.
There's a few interviews that I did with the BBC and some magazine articles, as love is my main passion. And the 5 pillars of transparent love, which is trust, truth, transparency, communication and respect.
Yeah.
Without trust you can't have love.
Oh yeah, I know that very well.
Exactly. Without truth you can't have trust. They come hand in hand.
Yeah.
Transparency saves you from having cancer. Basically, you need to release every emotion. You can't trap any, you can't lie. If you lie, you get sick. You just need to, hiding. It's just really not worth it. Transparency is key, because that is key to communication.
Yeah.
And communication is the best lubrication. And respect, which is boundaries. And I am so anal about boundaries.
Yes, and when you live a polyamorous lifestyle, you learn that you need boundaries more.
Very clear
often
boundaries. You communicating more than any other relationship. Like I was deep in monogamy. Like throughout the moment I'm born, I'm from a very Muslim, strict devout Muslim background. So tradition is key. Arranged marriages, you know, all that stuff. I just tried to do it. It didn't work out for me. Then I found another way of living and loving, which worked out so well for me.
Yeah.
And now I'm able to communicate more. Now I'm able to commit even more.
Yeah.
And now I'm able to love even more.
Yeah.
And that allows me to be in greater service with my line of work.
And you mentioned about rules of engagement.
Rules of engagement. I use these 6 simple questions before I go into any kind of sex magic ritual, moving in with a Shakti or anything. So they are just 6 simple questions. Number 1, what are your intentions?
Yeah.
Number 2, what are your fears? Number 3, what are your desires? Number 4, what are your boundaries? Very important. And then if you're going deeper into a relationship, do you have any STIs? And what will this mean to you?
Yeah.
So this creates a very clear, very safe container for everyone to express their vulnerabilities and to open up and soften and allow the free communication to happen, and then we could go deeper.
Yeah.
And if a relationship ever ends, which it doesn't for me now, we have a relationship ritual.
Yes.
So if you're having a breakup or something like this is a very conscious way to end a relationship, but all relationships don't end, they shift into something else.
Yeah,
so
they
it's a
transition.
relationship.
Yeah.
So with relationship ritual, you hold space for each other, and one person expresses gratitude rather than saying, you did this, it ended because of that. There's
And
no
then you did
blaming.
that.
Exactly, there's no blaming, there's just gifts, gratitude. And it's beautiful just to say how the other person is affected and help them evolve in their lives.
Yes.
So expressing gratitude and visualizing, bringing back your own energetic chords, and then saying the secret magic words, which are, what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, I release you. And then the other person does the same, and then it's a really beautiful way to
That's so
evolve.
honouring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living? How do you support this dream lifestyle?
Kind of like a sexy sadhu these days. So my passion is transformation and empowering women. So with my one-to-one sessions, I allow women to go deeper into themselves, to connect deeper to themselves. With normal therapies, it only deals with the head. With Sacred Sexual Awakening, I deal with the heart and the sex. So it's actually aligned rather than just having a talking head.
Yeah.
And most people just deal with this and forget about this.
Yeah, for sure.
Without the free connecting mind, body and spirit, it's going to be a lot harder to connect to yourself. So the line of work I do is all about taking women on a shamanic 3-hour-long journey, connecting them back to themselves, allowing them to understand their sacred body. Yoni mapping, which is something that everyone should know about.
Yes.
There's so many amazing places deep inside of you, like the G spot, the A spot, the Kundalini area, the cervix, all these erectile tissues outside of the yoni, and being able to touch and hold in presence for a woman to actually give rather than take. Like most women have only experienced men taking from them.
Yeah, taking touch.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and they haven't really experienced someone who could actually hold space for them, allow them to go deeper into themselves, allow them to cry for 3.5 hours. I also do de-armoring, like a lot of tension is stored, a lot of trauma is stored inside the sexual organs, but also a lot of bliss. So once that's released, you could actually experience more orgasms, more sensations that you've never felt before. So I do that through my shamanic journeys. It's almost like a powerful Reiki treatment.
Yeah.
But inside, connecting to the heart.
Wow.
So I do that as well as coaching men on how to worship women, coaching couples on how to worship each other, and going around the world giving these workshops which are completely safe, completely fully clothed,
Yeah.
and all about self-love.
Yes.
Kind of like a self-love coach.
Wonderful.
So that's my passion.
It's making me long for doing that work as well, and to not long for it, but to
Get back on the
love
horse.
that I did it. Love that I did it, and I'm not in the place to offer sessions right now, but I'm so proud of you, Chef.
I'm inspired by you. You told me, and like you are living it. You did it. You done it. You're doing it, and it's just a honor to just follow your footsteps and
Bless
being
you.
these amazing love warriors,
Yes.
empowering people to learn how to get back to themselves and become the gift to this world.
Yes.
And you are a gift.
Yeah, I guess we have both lived our mission in very different ways.
Yeah.
You more flamboyantly than me, but
Shiva Diva.
yes. And I really appreciate meeting people and being in your energy and just having it mirrored back to me, I suppose. Being in just being around high level people who inspire me.
High level? Oh, thanks. That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel. That's from my heart.
Beautiful, thank you. And I'm just a divine reflection of yourself. Fabulousness attracts fabulousness.
Oh.
Thank you.
So, thank you for speaking with me today. I'll put some links down below
Amazing.
so you can find him.
Oh, thank you so much. You are an inspiration.
So you.